Okay, now we come to example number 2. Okay, let's say we want to solve the logarithmic inequality, the log base 3 of 3x minus 4 is less than the log base 3 of x plus 1. So when is that true? Well, first of all, it can only be true. We got to make sure that the arguments, we got to make sure that 3x minus 4 is got to be positive. And we got to make sure that 3x, first of all, let's make sure 3 minus 4, x minus 4 is positive. And we also need to make sure that x plus 1 is also positive. So we'll get rid of these. All right. So 3x minus 4 is positive if we, first of all, we need to, let's add 4 to both sides. There. Okay. If we do that, we'll get this result. 3x is greater than 4. And if we divide both sides by 3, and I'll go ahead and underline that. Let's see. Oh, that. And we're dividing both these by 3. All right, divide both sides by 3, you get this result. X is greater than 3/4. So this is true. All right. This is, here's a very simple inequality. We also need to make sure that x plus 1 is greater than 0, which in order to isolate x, we'll subtract 1 from both sides. Okay. There. There. All right. So I didn't draw a line on my other one, so I guess I'll be nice enough and do it here. All right. So that gives us this result. That tells us that x must be greater than -1. So this inequality is true, must be true, and this equality must be true. Okay? They both must be true in order for us to even work the problem. Now, when we look at the problem here, this inequality, there's a law that we were given, and I'll just make it extra large. If b is greater than 1, that's the base, then the log to the base b of x is greater than the log base b of y if and only if x, the argument, which is x, is greater than y, the second argument, the argument on the right. And the same is true with the less than. In this case, we have the less than situation. The bases are the same. The argument on the left, it must be less than the argument on the right if x is less than y. So let's do the same. So this is what we have here. Okay. So this is only true if this is true. So if this is true, this is true. So, and now all we got to do is just solve the inequality, which we can solve by, let's just subtract, let's isolate the x by subtracting x from both sides. Let's do that. X here, subtract x, and we'll do it again. We'll do it on that side. And let's also move our constants over. Let's see, we can add 4 to both sides. Here. And there's 1, let's call that. And that's that. All right. And I'll just try to make this look a little neater here. Now you can see we're adding the same thing to both sides. That's basically what we're doing. I call this a double transform. Okay? So when you do that, the result of that expression will be this. 2x is less than 5. And if you take this 2x to isolate the x and you divide it by 2, and by the 5 by 2, we got to do both. So let's take 2, 2, divide it. Yeah. There. We get this result. X is less than 5/2. So now your head should be spinning. I have 3 inequalities. what is the solution? First of all, that's not how you spell solution. All right. The solution is the intersection of, or we can say of all three inequalities. I know you can't see this. Okay. Maybe another word we can use in section, we can also say overlap. Okay. Where do they overlap? Okay. So we one thing we can do is we can just plot these. We can draw a number line and just see where everything stacks up, and we'll have an answer. So let me grab a number line right quick. Okay, so let's see if we can find out where the intersection is. I'll just use the same color, keep it simple. Let's say, all right, let's take, no, I'll use different colors. Let's say we take this inequality and we'll make this one red, okay? Let's draw this inequality. Really, we need an open circle here. Should be all open circles. So I'm just going to take a line like x is greater than -1. So I'm going to go to -1, and I'm going to draw, that does not look red, does it? Let's make it red, okay? Let's see, let's go to properties, and let's see, I want this to be red, okay? All right, so there's x minus 1. Now let's draw the other. Let's make this one blue, okay? All right, so I'm going to take that, I'm going to crown you blue, all right? And then let's get a blue line together. Let's see, X, and let's see blue. And I'm going to start at 3/4. X is greater than 3/4, which is about right about here, and we'll go that way. And actually, we do need a, arrow at the end of that line. So I'm going to go ahead and put an arrow there. Okay. Let's make that endpoint an arrow. Okay. All right. So, and then I got x is less than 5/2. X is less than 5/2. And I'll make this one what? Let's make that one green. All right. So let's see if I can get a green line together. And it's less than, so I do need, let's see how, less than, so I need and start there. All right, and less than 5/2. Where is 5/2? And it'd be nice if I can get this thing to be light green or like that. So 5/2 is 2.5. So we're going to start here, and I'll do the arrow backwards. All right, so I'll just take it that way. Okay, let me fix this. Okay, all right. So properties, and we want the end to be like that. We want the start to be like that. There, that's better. So again, the overlap is what we're looking for. Where do they all come together? And what color should I make the overlap? Let's see. I'll make the overlap this real orange thing. Okay, so where do they overlap? All three lines come together from here to here. I'm going to draw a little box where they overlap. Okay, so they overlap. Let's see, from there to there. That's what an overlap is. All right, and if I can just kind of make that a little more. If I can just sort of drag that box out a little bit, there. So there's an overlap. So where is our overlap? It is from the blue starts and where the green takes off. So we are looking at so it looks like that our solution is, well, x is less than 5/2, but greater than 3/2. So x is between, if I can make this work, x is between 3/2 and 5/2, 3/4 and 5/2. So this is our solution where all three overlap. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in a little box like this. So that is the overlap that we've been looking for. And I'm going to color that orange to match. Okay, so that's a solution to our inequality here. So if I can just take this and copy, go back up and paste. So there is our solution to the inequality.